issuing a warning right now. Listen to me. I'd have no problem with seeing Remy Ma to take that despicable me asshole. That fucking swagger jack piece of shit. I bet you miss Safari these days. Maybe if he was still writing your shit, you would have won that Grammy. It's war. You want to fight? Pick on somebody your own size. You want it, Nikki? Come get it. You misbehaved in them Philadelphia streets, babe. You know, that's why you gotta be careful shit that you do. Because it might come back to bite you in the ass. Send them keep sending them little fun barbleheads over here.
Gossip, nigga, just stop it. Everybody know I'm a motherfucking monster. I'ma need to see your fucking hands at the concert. Everybody know I'm a motherfucking monster. I'ma need to see your fucking hands.
Checking in, it's about to go down. Miss Leslie got all the juicy tea. Shady just for you and me, the juice, the tea, all the shade that you need.
Warning, please take your seats.
Check in, like you know we got a whole checking. Dr. Leslie got the G, she got the T for you and your friends. She don't need head, no wet band. She the whole paparazzi, man. Look, not know it all, what you wanna know. Got juice, got tea, spill it on the floor. Look, she can spill it all like a baby flipping bowl. She laying in the bushes with the cannon on go.
I'ma start dropping true Hollywood mob stories about how misbehaved your fuck priestess was in Philadelphia. That part. Stay to my page. Now see, we gonna go back 2 years. Puffy and Mary J. Blige had people all up in my comments talking all kind of crazy. And I told them 2 years ago that if they didn't stop, I was gonna drop some holiday finance that they couldn't walk the fuck away from. And they kept on. And I got on Instagram. And I told everybody how Stephen Williams was sucking fucking Puffy fucking in bad boy offices for a goddamn demo deal. And how Mary J. Blige and private sex tapes are running trains on her ass at 5 Row Records when she was still smoking crack.
Oh.
And I did. I'm issuing a warning every time you bards drop. I'ma drop something new about your fucking priestess. Wonder what I know. Y'all know Jags keeps her words. If I see another fucking nasty ass fucking comment that I don't like on my goddamn page about these pieces of shit, if I see another mother thing, I'm gonna start dropping real life more about the kind of shit that Nicki Minaj likes to do in strip clubs. With people who she fucking don't pay all the way. I don't know, if I was you, I'd probably leave me alone. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Okay, I done said my prayers on it now. So now I feel all right about everything that's about to come out of my mouth. I don't do deniers, intimidation. I don't do gossip, for real. I just talk the truth. I speak facts. So here's the fact. The fact is, you're big mad that me, Nosy Whole Live, Hot Shot Radio, and a good share and a host of many other people believe and support Jennifer Huff. Let me take this all the way back to where it started, bring it full circle. Everything I had to say was in defense of and to stand for Jennifer Huff. See, they like to create all this hoopla. So we keep talking about them, and we don't really talk about the person that needs to be discussed, and that's Jennifer Huff. They big mad that we advocating. You know, if every action is an equal and opposing reaction in science as well as in man. So, all that being said, Kenneth Petty is a level 3, which means he is on the registry for life, which makes him a repeat offender. Ain't nobody make that female marry that animal. And for what I know, animals tend to be comfortable with animals. Maybe that's the problem. That I spoke to the fact that she might actually be a bigger monster than her husband. Maybe that's what's got their asses itching. But you know, the truth is the truth. There is no defense. There is only culpability, responsibility, and accepting full responsibility and acknowledging the pain that it has caused other human beings. And if you're smart, you'll leave me alone. Because as I stated before, my phone overheated and went kaput, which was probably God just saying, calm down, baby, you about to have a stroke. Ask Mary J. Blige and Honeycomb Puff Daddy what it's like to call my bluff. I'm an excellent poker player, and typically, I don't bluff. But when it comes to the truth, I never bluff. If you would like to save the petties any further public exposure, well, it's real simple. Leave me the f alone. Because if you do not leave me alone, I will have absolutely no choice but to arm myself with the whole truth, the absolute truth, and nothing but the truth. And I have to tell y'all what a terrible patron Miss Nicki Minaj is in the strip clubs of Philadelphia. I know this for a fact, because one of the chicks that she was trying to trick off was my ex-girlfriend. Pillow talk is a bitch, but regardless of all that, you know, don't test me. I'm proven. And Nikki, if you got any issues, don't send your minions. Just come to me. Just don't forget, I am a Philadelphia legend. On multiple levels. I know everybody. And I know people that wish you had to pay them all the money you owe them, that would have absolutely no problem with getting on my podcast or getting on Instagram Live and having a public conversation with me for the world to see and go viral. Don't make me go viral again. That's all. That's all. Just leave me alone. If you're Barb's lover, leave me alone. Because I keep my word. It might take me a while to get around to it sometimes, but I always keep my word. And my word for you, petties, don't make me get petty. Because I'll show you the true definition of your name if you leave me no choice. Ask Christopher Williams. He should have never came down here to Dallas and robbed my friend. Well, actually, he didn't even come down here. He got the deposit, and he never showed up. Which is why I had no problem with dropping that T, because he had offended me, whether he knew it or not. When I ain't got no love lost, I ain't got no problem telling the truth. Settle out of court with Jen. Pay her $5 million, because that's what you owe her for torturing, harassing, and threatening her and her family. And just shut up. You know, find better writers, make better music. Go after that Grammy. Your husband can stay home, quarantined from society, where he is potentially always a danger, since he's a level offender. You know, focus on y'all. Stop worrying about Cardi B and trying to keep up with Cardi B. She done already passed you, Ma. She done already passed you. You lucky Remy Ma has become gracious in her older years, because she could just like trash you all the way, you know? And you lucky Meg Thee Stallion is too young to know all what you really about. Just focus on you. Focus on making better music. Focus on therapy for your husband and making sure that he's a suitable parent with his violent history. Worry about your life, you know? Cardi passed you, yo. Y'all can say whatever you want to say about Offset. I tell you what I do know about Offset. Last I checked, he ain't no, or at least he ain't got no body on record like Kenneth Petty, because he was also convicted and pleaded guilty to, like, you already lost. Just off of your choice of spouse and parent for your child, you already lost. Like, you really couldn't find someone better than a level 3 to marry and have children with? Cardi got herself a G'd up dude, and he ain't running around cutting up hoes while he them people. Maybe you should buy a car wash, Nikki, so your husband can run that. And maybe that'll be good therapy for him, because you know how they said when he first got out of jail, how he got a job at a car dealership, and how he was washing the cars, and then he worked his way all the way up to selling cars, and he finally had a paycheck and benefits, and then he hooked up with you, and then he had his life made, right? So why don't you do that? Maybe you should get a car dealership and y'all can just retreat into normal life, and he can get involved and engaged in something that he's familiar with. That from what he said in court, well, actually what your lawyer said, what Judge said in court, you know, he was very good at. He was very proud of having a job, and he washed those cars better than anybody. So maybe y'all should do that and leave Jennifer alone. But pay her $5 million first, you know. Ain't no need for NDAs, because the truth is out there, babe. So just give her the money. Pay her for her pain and suffering and for emotional distress, for threatening her and to harm her if she didn't recant a 25-year-old horrific story that happened to her where she was the victim and your husband was the assailant. So yeah, let's just focus on what needs to get done. No, the last live, it didn't save because my phone overheated and it got hot. And you know, if you don't hit that share button before it goes off screen, it's gone. So that last live is gone. All we got is this. But I'm sure somebody out there screen recorded it. I know that there's people who sit around screen recording. So I've gotten some real interesting comments, apparently from some Houstonians that think I'm out of pocket for having anything to say about Takeoff's death. Takeoff ain't from Houston. What I did say is that I do not believe that the Prince family is behind it. I know Beyonce from Houston, and I know her father, Matthew Knowles, offered up Houston so Jay-Z can have it under his control. The only thing that Jay-Z and Rock Nation cannot control in Houston is the Prince family. The Prince family run this town, and everybody knows it. Look at how nicely everything worked out for Travis Scott after Astroworld, and the Kardashian Jenners was all involved in that, just like they all involved in the Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion. I guess y'all up because it's too slow to pick that up. I'ma say it right now. I don't think Jay Prince or his children had anything to do with Takeoff's death. What I do think is that Megan Thee Stallion has been wanting to get out of her contract, the contract that she's under, that's owned and held by Jay Prince. You know, the people that made her. I know she don't want to be here no more. She want to run off. She want to be with Beyonce and them. See, that's why they had Mary J. Blige grooming her and kissing her in the mouth 2-3 years ago, because she want to be a part of Rock Nation so bad. She wants to pledge allegiance to the Carters. What better way to earn their allegiance by helping set Tory Lanez up, getting the princes caught up, and then being able to scooch away free so she could sign the Rock Nation. I guess y'all missed that part. You've been putting up with my shit just way too long, right? I'm so gifted at finding what I don't like the most. So I think it's time for us to have a toast. Let's have a toast to the douchebags. If you are loyal to the Carters, because they don't rep Houston, they just want to rule Houston, just like they wanted to rule Philadelphia. Because the same Jay-Z came down here and did the Pimp C, he did in Philly a decade before to Frank Bank, Junior Black Mafia. Y'all can miss me with the bullshit. I dedicate this song to Rock Nation. I want to toast y'all niggas up for that RICO charge hit, and then the SEC get involved. What I really want to know, Sean Carter, is publicly traded companies, they have to have legitimate legal backgrounds. How did y'all manage to sell Rockefeller Records to Iconics to get that $100 million so you can have a down payment to buy title? How were you able to make that deal? Like, what kind of books was being cooked over at Rockefeller to clean up all of that? Y'all know how y'all built Rockefeller. See, that's why Irv Gotti was in. You know, haven't y'all always noticed Irv Gotti's always involved in companies that have RICO problems? How did you become a legitimate American billionaire? I don't think there's enough NDAs in the world to cover up that fact. And Jay-Z Unplugged, it just washed you and wiped you clean as snow while you over Dame, who, by the way, waited until Aaliyah was of legal age of consent to have sex with her. You and R. Kelly couldn't wait. Y'all just had to have you a piece of that. I'm sure Barry Hankerson is very sick with himself. I'm sure there are people that are loyal to the Carters. I'm telling you, you've been ill-advised and you've been misinformed. These aren't the kind of people that care about people. They only care about your usefulness until you're no longer useful. Look at the trail of destroyed lives that they've left behind them, including Aaliyah. Beyonce will never be Aaliyah. She can never do what Aaliyah did. I mean, wasn't it clear how hard she was struggling when she did that song with Lady Gaga, and Lady Gaga aching ass in that video? And all I could see was how heavy Beyonce was breathing just to keep up with Gaga. I'm not saying that Beyonce doesn't have talent. I'm saying that she peaked when she was 25, when she was pretending she was 18. Bitch worked hard, you know, but that's what a good hoe do. A good hoe do what they pimp tell them to do, just like her daddy raised her to. A crack-smoking, woman-beating, woman-pimping Matthew Knowles. Telling you that the Knowles family sold this city for cheap to Jay-Z, so Pimp C couldn't rise up and become the king of the South, just like Frank Bank was for Philly. I'm telling y'all, this nigga got a fucking hat, and I always find something wrong. You've been putting up with my shit just way too long. Travis Scott sold his soul to demons in Hollywood, living high in Calabasas, and everybody knows that satanic ritual. I didn't say anything before now, because y'all had the spirits in there so rough. And the princes have been the only thing here holding it down. Don't be so quick. How do I come from out of town and I got more faith in the Prince family than y'all do? These niggas feed half of y'all fucking bitches in these streets. From New York on the label. Why that was. Why did you have only Philly niggas writing Emilio Sparks came up with Give It To Me, that wasn't Pharrell, or all the Beans verses that you memorized after you stole his single. See, people don't realize when they sign those Rockefeller contracts, clause in the contract said that if Jay-Z heard anything that he liked, he got first shot at the record, regardless if it was your first single or not. The record with all that Philly slang in it, and nobody bothered to think. See, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying, Houston, because he came and did the same Philly. He was supposed to be doing business with Frank Bank, like he was supposed to be doing business with Pimp C, and then Frank Bank gets murdered in his hometown, just like Pimp C, and then all of a sudden, they run his shit. See, Diddy and Jay-Z worked together. That's why they had Diddy bring Travis Scott out. Y'all ain't doing nothing but worshiping. Let's start with the books. Actually, let's start with, all right, number one, the Carters to produce the master recordings for the commission, because there are some people that would love to hear Biggie Smalls' last words. And you don't have the right to, like, keep that from Valletta Wallace and young Christopher Wallace, who have a right to earn money off of Biggie's legacy. Do you know how much money those commission tapes would generate? Do you know how much that could do for little Chris? For Valletta, for his daughter? Why you keeping food out of those kids' mouths? Why you taking money from that woman's legacy? She does a lot of good with the money that she done got. In this economy, you don't think that would be a good source of income? Where's the commission album, Jay-Z? Where are the last recorded verses of Biggie Smalls, of the Notorious B.I.G.? Number two, somebody from the Southeastern District in New York needs to start looking into that deal, that iconic deal that made it possible for Jay-Z to level up over Dame, move over to Def Jam. And then I was so worried about Russell Simmons, and I haven't wanted to say anything about Russ. I used to go to his house and perform for Rush Philanthropic. Like, that was the last time I saw Dick Gregory while he was alive. But Russell about as gay as a $2 bill and been gay. And everybody knows it. Kimura didn't have any problems being married to Russell. It was easy work. When I think about Kimura and Kim talking in that bathroom back at the Kit Kat Club all those years ago in New York, talking about their plans, Kimura knew she was going to marry Russell. She had the gig. Kim didn't want to marry Puffy, but she did want access. And when I heard her talk about all of those tapes that she got out of Andre Harrell's private file that she had of Puffy ass having to do all of the shit that he makes other niggas do to him, I'm like, ooh, this is messy. And I tapped on the door and I'm like, hey, ladies, y'all talking kind of loud. That was in 1995. And now Kim's dead. And Russell Simmons is running around talking about, well, the reason why John Singleton and Andre Harrell is because they ate bad and you need to become a vegan. No, nigga. You know why they did.
different. Because when Andre Harrell left Def Jam and started Uptown, I took a little money out of your pocket. And then Uptown went from Uptown to Bad Boy. And then after Biggie Smalls, Russell, you offered Jay-Z the job. You made sure that the board offered Jay-Z the job to come and run Def Jam. So your opinions of how John Singleton and Andre Harrell are really invalid. One hand washes the other. I appreciate the good works that you've done, Russell, but no amount of, clean eating is going to cover up all the crimes that you have covered up. There's no way in the world anybody can tell me that Russell Simmons don't know what happened to Jam Master Jay. And see, you still alive? No, you're still alive because you haven't snitched yet. You a hustler just like the rest of them. I'll be unpacking it on the DphiladelphiaTVNetwork.com. Y'all can't strike that channel. And that's what's going to make Keep It a Bean podcast so hot. Tasha K need to be worried about her podcast because I'm about to show this fucking done. That's how this business works. It's easy. Immortalize them and then make money off of their catalog than it is to do right by them. The Migos weren't supposed to break up. That contract was put in jeopardy. Takeoff was the brains of the group. Quavo held it all together. Offset, is married to Cardi, and Offset has his own thing. They can't just come after Offset because of Cardi, because that'll just look too much. But to have Takeoff and Quavo at a Prince party, you get to kill two birds with one stone. Not everybody has 168, IQ. My mind moves a lot faster than most people. Be careful who you think you want to be. You don't know these niggas. And it's foul. I can see why you would want to be Kelly Rowland. Kelly Rowland was the prettiest girl in the group, still is. What Kelly Rowland looks like without makeup, Beyonce has to sit in front of a mirror for 5 hours to achieve. Like, come on. Yeah, Pimp C had a tape. Everybody had a tape on Beyonce because she fucked everybody. She had an issue. She fucked the help, too. Busboys, gaffers, lighting crew. Like, she had a thing. It made her feel special that she was Beyonce. But, ain't that typical for a chick that was raised by a pimp? Expose a little truth. Shine a little light in dark corners. Y'all want to get behind a hero, then get behind Tobey. Get behind Bun B. Get behind whatever Scarface is doing. Yeah, they did Mel dirty. They did everybody dirty. Let's have a toast to the douchebags. Let's have a toast to the assholes. Let's have a toast to the scumbags. Every one of them that I know. Pimp C was the future of y'all city. He was about to do something huge, and they moved him around. Beyonce ain't even a real person. She never has been. She's a great employee. Y'all sure y'all want to be that? Your God is on drugs all the time, prescribed by a doctor to keep her practically in a catatonic state, only able to perform as her husband likes it. Y'all really sure you want to be Beyonce? She has no control over her life. She has no control over what she wears, what she eats. He likes dumb because he can control them. But see, he really loved the smart girls. Aaliyah was a real smart girl. She was smart enough to know that he was trouble. Just like me. Y'all keep want to be the beehive and shut down people's restaurants in the name of someone who is practically living catatonic. You remember all of that energy y'all had for Britney Spears? That's what y'all should be doing. Y'all should be running a free Beyonce campaign. Prisoner. Living in a guilty cage. Now they running around stealing all the people's ticket money. Yeah. Y'all sure y'all want to be Beyonce? Y'all sure y'all want to be the Carters? And all that lying and all that extortion and all those non-disclosure agreements? I heard Blue's situation ain't go too well. What did Beyonce do to me? She did nothing to me. She tried. I'm going to tell you the last conversation I had with Beyonce. We were at 40-40. And she spent 25 minutes telling a story about how they didn't have her nail color. And that was back when she loved Parisian blue. So she bossed and ordered everybody around in the nail salon make that color so that she could have the color. And they made the color. And didn't they turn out fantastic? She picked another color. And I think she got a little upset with me because I looked at her and I said, I can't get that time back. And she said, what time? I said, the time that you just wasted telling us about your fucking nails. That's how stupid do you get? And I just walk off. Just like Alicia Keys was mad that I told her she had a pizza face. For the acne, for the Puff Daddy acne cream, I asked her, did it hurt? Like, I'm sorry, this is who I've always been. I don't have it in me to lie to people. When I tell you that the hair that Beyonce wears on her head has a higher IQ than she does, I lie to you not. Her daddy know that. Her mama know that too. That's why she had to work. She ain't got the natural gift. She just got beaten to submission until she... Y'all don't know how many times y'all seen her fall and she gets up like the reanimated man. She fall down and break her neck and then jump... Crazy Rhonda! Come on! What y'all don't want to accept the fact is that you bought into those images, that you bought into those videos, that you saw something that you thought was better than you, when the truth is, you're better than it. We made your real lives. Look how we created the theme music for your life. Not for this fucking commercial consume like $3,000 sneakers and to feed your kids for the next month. Like, we wrote music for real people. And I'm not saying anything bad about Houston. I was talking about Takeoff's death and the suspicious circumstances that surround why it's being so hard to find out who needs to be convicted.